I'm Dave Chesson, the creator of Kindlepreneur, and today we're going to dive into a highly effective but rarely known book marketing tactic. Although writing a book press release is no new tactic, thanks to the internet, syndication programs, and services, it's easier than ever to create press releases that not only work, but also get you out there. So, stay tuned. Now, a press release is sort of a win-win for both you and the news agencies. How it works is that news agencies are constantly on the look for new free content to promote. For them, new content brings more views brings more sales. And if your article's a dud, no harm, no foul. For you, a press release can bring you hundreds of thousands of different readers and viewers. All you need to do is write an article for them in a certain format, following a press release template that we have in the notes below. Then, have it sent out to all the news agencies through syndication. And finally, watch some of them publish it. Pretty simple, right? But here's the problem. In order for this to help you increase your book sales, you need to do two things. Number one, get good news agencies to pick up your press release. Number two, write a press release that actually gets people intrigued about your book. So, how do you do that? Well, first off, you have to remember that news agencies want news. I like to personally think that every time I launch a book, it's on the same scale as when Stephen King launches his book. Okay, just kidding. But seriously, right? It's not the same thing. I just can't write and say, hey guys, I got a new book, and people are gonna be like, sweet, that's great news, let's talk about it. Nope. So how exactly do you turn your book into news? Here's a couple of tips. Take a look at current events and see if your book can kind of fit in with them. You'd be surprised what you can come up with. Take a look at Google Trends. Find out what people are typing into the internet, what people are interested in. If you're able to tie your book into that, people love stories. And if there's a person who was helped by your book or was led to do something because they read it, go ahead and put that in there. If you have a famous person's endorsement, then promote that. And there's a whole lot more. Sometimes inadvertent press releases can also go viral too. To give you an example, a couple of years ago, an author wrote a fan fiction erotica that was centered around the New England Patriots player Rob Gronkowski. The title of the book was A Gronking to Remember. Yeah, no, really, that was the title. At the time, the book didn't do so hot. Get it? You know, hot, erotica? No? Okay, I'll stop. It wasn't actually until a legal battle occurred that it got some press and then took off. It turns out that the picture they were using on the book cover was of a couple who had just gotten engaged. And when they found out that they were on the cover of that book, well, you can imagine they weren't exactly too happy. After the court battle, of course, the writer changed the cover and everybody was good to go. But here's where it got wild. The press release that was discussing the court case drummed up a lot of interest about the book. People were reading all about this crazy situation of this poor couple being on the cover and were like, wow, that's kind of an interesting book, and they were clicking on it and buying it. I'm sure a majority of those people were Patriot fans, but still, she went from a not so successful book to a super successful book. How successful? When Rob Gronkowski found out about the book, he promoted it. It was on a Funny or Die skit, and also became the big joke in a Jimmy Kimmel skit as well. I'm not kidding, I can't even make this stuff up. The point is, it just took a little bit of news to kickstart this giant press release success, and now the author's doing pretty good. So once you've created a press release, you need to get it syndicated. I definitely don't recommend you do this yourself. There's a lot of great services out there that will do it for you, like PR Syndication, PR Urgent, and PR Web. However, word of caution, when dealing with press release syndication services, they're gonna try to convince you to up your package and go higher. Granted, that will increase the amount of news agencies that will find it, but that does not mean you're gonna get a better return on your investment. It all comes down to how good your press release is written. I get it. Maybe you're sitting there saying to yourself, I can't come up with a newsworthy, awesome press release. That's okay, because there's another benefit to press releases that will help anybody out there. Have you ever seen somebody's social media profile or LinkedIn picture that looks like this? Is this guy really that authoritative? Probably not. Instead, what he probably did was a press release that either through a great story or a pricey syndication package got it on those news stations, and after that, well, started touting it on his social media. Instant authority, right? Well, to those that don't know the press release system, I guess. So, to sum it all up, press releases can be powerful, but only if you truly have a unique story that you can tell, or just looking for that instant authority satisfaction, like this guy. If you're interested in creating a press release, then make sure you head over to my article on Kindlepreneur, where I actually have a free press release template for you to use, as well as a list of all the syndication software and services that will push it out to the big name news agencies and a whole lot more. I'm Dave Chesson, and I hope you enjoyed this romp through book press release tactics. If you'd like to learn more about selling books, click this little guy below and get the latest and greatest of my book marketing videos. Because every week I'm gonna go over a new tactic and strategy and make sure we all stay on the cutting edge of book marketing. And with that, I'm Dave, signing off. Cheers.